Mathematics tutorial class is starting today, and we are starting with this topic on the board: trigonometry. So we have on the board a right angle triangle, and with this right angle triangle, I'm sure the students are familiar with some of the things that I've mentioned on the board. That is where you have the three sides of the right angle triangle. A right angle triangle has 90 degrees at the base, and the sum of these three angles on this triangle will give us 180 degrees. These are the properties of a right angle triangle that we are familiar with. It has at the base 90 degrees, and the sum of these three angles, the sum of the three angles gives 180 degrees. 180 degrees. So, for what you have on the board for this triangle, which is a right angle triangle, we have three sides: 1, 2, 3. And these three sides, you have the longest side here, and then the remaining two sides. The longest side there is called hypotenuse side, and then the remaining two, where you have the angle theta here. Wherever you have the angle theta, opposite of this angle, that is where you have the opposite side. So the side facing the angle is the opposite side. The side facing the angle is the opposite side. And then the third side is going to be the adjacent side. Adjacent side, hypotenuse side, opposite side. Again, angle theta is here. If angle theta is here, then the side facing the angle is the opposite side. Is the opposite side. Now I use letters for these three sides, just letters, so that when we begin to solve, look at how we can maybe find cosine, sine, and then tangent on this particular triangle. So the letters will help us. Instead of writing hypotenuse, we use H. Instead of adjacent, we use A. And instead of opposite, we use letter O. Letter O, letter A, letter H. So the aspect we are going to consider, the aspect that we are going to consider here is the relationship between this triangle with sine, cosine, and the tangent of the angle theta given on the board. So we have sine, cosine. Three examples they've been solved on the board for you to examine properly, and with these examples you'll be able to solve other questions on your own. So in the first example, or example 1 and 2, I said find the side marked with letters. And if you look at the question 1 and question 2, we have letter A on this side, and we have this side, which is the hypotenuse side, to be 10. That is 10 is given there. 10, no unit. Then the angle here is 27 degrees, and they have a right angle, so that's a right angle triangle. The second question too is about this right angle triangle, where this angle is 67 degrees. The hypotenuse side is given to be X, and the other side there is given to be 1. Remember, this side here is the adjacent side. This is the opposite side, and this should be the hypotenuse side. It is very, very simple to identify this side. The side opposite the angle is the opposite side. The side that is facing the angle, the side facing the angle is the opposite side. If this is the opposite side, then this is the adjacent side. And the longest side there is the hypotenuse side. So don't forget that. Now, if you look at the first one, question 1, the hypotenuse side is here. The side that is facing the angle is A. You get it now? And this is the adjacent. So since we are given the hypotenuse and we are looking for opposite, then sine of the angle will be able to get the answer for us. That is the value of A. So sine 27 degrees equals A over 10. And for us to get the value of A equals sine 27 times 10. All you need to do is to make A the subject here. Make A the subject, and so from there you can obtain the value of A. Look at the table for sine 27. On this trigonometric table, we have sine table, cosine table, and the tangent table. So on the table, you can always get the value. So if you look at 27 degrees properly, we are going to obtain something like 0.454. 0.454. Multiply that by 10. Your value of your A is 4.54. 4.54 as the value of A for question 1. For question 2, in a similar way, the opposite side here is not given, but we have the adjacent side to be 1, and the side we are going to obtain here is hypotenuse side, where x is representing the value or the length of that side, which we are going to solve using another maybe cosine, especially because this will be cosine, to obtain